to ComedySlamRadio.com. From our studios to the world, we bring you the finest in quality entertainment. So pop some popcorn, grab a smooch buddy, and settle in for another fine show from ComedySlamRadio.com.
It's time for the Let's Be Frank show, where we get frank with your favorite celebrity and national touring comedians. Follow us on Twitter at Let's Be Frank Show, and if you miss our live broadcast on Comedy Slam Radio, find us on Stitcher Radio, Podomatic, and iTunes at Let's Be Frank's Podcast. Keep laughing, my friends. Good evening, and welcome to the Let's Be Frank show. We are live. We got Corey Hunter calling in, hacking in the background. How you doing, Corey?
I'm here. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Are you smoking the biggest joint in the world? You've been hacking through my whole introduction. Live, baby. What's going on?
I don't smoke weed anymore. I quit.
Oh, so this is like remnants of pot from years ago that you're hacking up in the car.
No, I'm smoking weed. But
I was going to say, it's coughing residuals or something from the weed or what?
Flashbacks.
So how you guys doing tonight?
We are not doing bad.
All right, man. Yeah, thank you.
This is great. I just want to let, I don't know how many followers you have, but I just want to let this be known that I begged you to get on this show. You did not come after me.
I don't know if that sounds good or bad for me.
Well. Oh, should I have not said that shit? What? Oh, can we curse?
Yes, you can do whatever you want. Yes.
Oh, you know what? This is ridiculous. What am I talking about? So
Yes.
anyways, yeah, I asked you to be on the show, and
Did we
I'm
figure
happy
out
to
why?
be here.
Did we figure out why I said yes yet?
No, I'm trying to figure it out my damn self. I'm like, why am I on the show? Because I'm not funny, but we'll move along.
That's all right,
Nice.
because this show isn't always funny. So we
all
could
good.
bore the shit out of thousands and thousands of people this week.
How many followers do you have or listening right now?
Listening right now, 6-7 million probably.
Is it really?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, good.
There are a lot of people. Usually you get a lot of listeners who do download the podcast, usually on Podomatic or iTunes.
Yeah.
More than listen to it live. But yeah.
Yeah. So, there's normally a good amount of people that listen. Sometimes I've seen it up as many as a couple of hundred listeners during a live show. But we have thousands that download the show week after week, and that's where everything gets done when people are on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podomatic. In between hacking sections on the joint, they don't smoke
this is gonna
anymore.
reach some people.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
Did you have a message you wanted to share with the world?
I don't smoke weed.
Oh,
Okay, so
he just coughs. That's because he's in Maryland. He's in where it's cold. You probably got a cold right now. You got some Robitussin on the chair next to you. Where we're here in sunny Florida, we're drinking pina coladas with fresh fruits and everything
Oh,
right
what the
from
hell
the
you
yeah,
vine.
you guys are in Florida. That's right.
Yeah, we are.
Clear
I
water.
tried to play a couple clubs in Florida. Nobody want to mess with me though.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I think what I think there's too many comedians out here.
Mm.
Yes. Well, yeah, but we want funny ones. You said you're not funny.
I'm
Do you
doing a
think-
good job right now.
I was going to say,
He's not doing bad right now. They're good.
Yeah, I'm doing a good job right now.
but you said you're associated with some agencies, and we were talking about them before. Didn't you say the Funny Bone or?
I'm with Coastal. One of them I'm not going to mention.
Nice.
Everybody's got the closet secret.
Yeah. Funny
Quiggy
Business.
says he's gay, but other than that,
I just got in with the Yoders. I got lucky. Comedy Zone. I'm on their Fallout list. I don't know if you guys know what that is. I
Comedy
get to
Zone,
throw
yeah.
on cancels.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
I'm on the Comedy Zone's Fallout list. I said I've applied for about 10 gigs. They've given me none. Sorry, Comedy.
Thought you were apologizing that it's an actual place. Right.
So yeah, I'm in with a few people.
Nice.
Not saying I'm getting a lot of work, but I'm in.
Now,
Mainly close.
how did you get in with some of these people? I mean, not the Comedy Zone Fallout list, but like the other one, the first one you mentioned. Which one was it?
Coastal?
Coastal. How did you get involved with them?
That's booked through Linda Rowe, and we'll see what happened with that. I sent her my tape, and she said no. She told me to check back. She told me to check back in 8 months.
Uh-huh.
And maybe about a year later, I did a guest spot at a VFW in Maryland, and the headliner was Scott Bruce, and he owns all of Wisecrackers comedy clubs in Pennsylvania. And he saw me, and that's how I got in.
Nice, that's cool.
Definitely good to have someone see it, get a little notice. That helps out.
Oh yeah, especially because she books all of his stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Did she,
So yeah, it was kind of like being in the right place at the right time. I got lucky.
That's cool.
Otherwise, I would be getting nothing.
There you go.
Does Coastal just book like weird like VFW shows or
No, this VFW show was booked through another booker.
Okay.
And
Why
he
is the
gave me a
VFW got to be weird, man?
No, I'm just saying
Does
it's
she
not
book
a
weird
I'm just saying it's not
VFW
a-
shows?
like it's not a comedy club. That's why I was asking. Like it's
Oh
just different from the norm.
Like an Elks Lodge or
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So Corey,
So, I'm listening.
you've been in comedy now for 12 years on and off, and the last 5-6 years you've really been hitting it a lot more heavy and seriously. But what in the hell would make you want to be a comic in the first place?
You know what? I was always a class clown, and I was abused as a child. No, I'm joking.
Hey, that's the rules, man. It's on the application. You have to be like mentally or physically abused to be a comic.
You have to be molested.
Oh shit! That's why I'm not funny. I haven't been molested.
You can pay somebody for that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it count if you pay for it?
Yeah, totally counts.
I'm too old for anybody in my family to do it.
Just saying.
All right, go ahead.
So that's pretty much it. As I was growing up, I was, during the Def Comedy Jam era, so I was watching that, and after that, years later, I just tried it.
Now, you're originally from Jersey, it says on your website?
Yeah, I'm from Metuchen, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where you first started doing comedy, or did you start it?
I got on stage one time there, and that was at the Stretch Factory in New Brunswick, and I ate shit.
Nice.
Fucking horrible.
They're rough in Jersey, man.
It was ridiculous. But after that, I did it again like 2 years later, and that's when I got hooked.
It's funny because he talked about how he doesn't get, before a couple of these recent bookers he got set up with, he didn't get a lot of gigs, and how he had to eat shit at open mics. And that's just the way it is. That's like the stepping stones on how shit starts. If you can't handle rejection.
Okay.
I was in Virginia Beach for 10 years, and I was doing like the Virginia Beach Funny Bone, Kaji's Comedy Club, and I started off in Virginia Beach. So that's where I kind of got good, and then I stopped, and then, so I had stage experience, I was hosting at the comedy clubs a long time ago, and then I moved away and I stopped, and then I moved. It's a whole cycle. It's ridiculous.
I understand. I was just saying, though, if you're going to get into comedy, the two things you brought up right away is the fact that you've had some rejection and that you have to eat shit on stage sometimes. And if you can't and if you can't handle rejection, you might as well not get into comedy because there's lots of it.
Oh yeah, I get rejected every day, right now.
Nice.
I am rejected. Reject him. Hang up on this guy. Reject his ass.
You email bookers, they don't email you back. It's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy.
What would
it's so hard to get into these clubs right now that it's just like it's like unless you know somebody but if you just email a club owner and say, hey, I'm such and such, and you send them your website, and I have a good video too. It's clean. I still get ignored.
I think that it's just people hate you.
It might be.
Now what started you to start getting some regular work when you started? I mean, you emceed for a while. What
I moved from Virginia Beach to Maryland probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I opened up my own room so I could have somewhere to practice.
Okay.
And they gave me a little bit of a budget so I could actually bring like a headliner in a middle, and I just started networking. Then I got another room. Then I got another room. And then I just started networking. And, I mainly got the rooms so I wouldn't have to travel to D.C. to do other people's rooms.
Yeah.
And put up with their shit.
Right. But it's got to be.
I read on Facebook and I'll look at their lineup. They'll have fucking 15 comedians on one show. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. But in a great way, having your own rooms has got to be really beneficial when you're starting out. Not that you're still starting out, but a lot of times you get to put more work into comedy when you have your own room, as opposed to working a full-time job and not really having the opportunity to hit every open mic every night. You're kind of guaranteed that you're going to see 2 or 3 times on stage in the beginning when you start booking your rooms. And it's a great way to, because a lot of people start when they're a lot younger. I didn't start until after I was, late 30s into comedy. But if you're in your early 20s and you can get some rooms booked.
I'm 33. So I'm getting up there, I think.
You're getting up there, but you're doing you're getting paid now. You're not really, comedy is your mainstay of income, where in the beginning.
Well, I had a job working at Pizza Hut. I got fired like 2 weeks ago.
I feel you, brother.
Wait, I thought that's where everybody from corporate America goes now.
Dude, I was delivering pizza part-time, because I had it set up where they knew I was a comedian. Yeah. So I could just tell them I had a gig and they let me take a day off or the weekend off, or, I had it set up nice. I shoved my shift leader in his neck. He got in my face. And they fired me.
Now I know why people aren't hiring you at all the clubs, because if they reject you, man, you're going to go gangster on them and jab them in the throat.
No. The dude got out of his chair. And you know how people invade your personal space, like they're going to hit you.
Yeah. I feel you.
So, I just pushed him out of his way by his neck. I didn't hit him with a closed fist or anything.
They're rough at those pizza places, man. They're pricks there. It's okay. I feel you, man.
I got fired from... right now in my life. I can't have a shift leader at Pizza Hut talk down to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trust me. I've been fired from.
Life is over.
I've been fired from a pizza place too, so I'm with you right there.
I have never been fired from a pizza place because I don't work there. I just eat at them.
Mm-hmm.
I have been kicked out for trying to steal slices for over the counter and trying to take free refills that don't exist.
I'm not even gonna tell you how much I stole. I was tearing their ass up. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what I used to do. I used to, they used to let us take food home at night if it was extra and stuff like that. When I was out on the road delivering, I would call up and act like I was a customer and order a lot of shit, and nobody would come pick it up so I could take it home.
That is awesome. I got to feed my wife and kids, man. Let me see. I need a Supreme meal. Get everything, man.
I see. It was crazy.
Yeah, I feel you. No.
Is there any secrets that you want to tell us about Pizza Hut now that you're no longer with them?
Oh, yeah. The one I worked at, they had roaches.
Well, I'll make sure I don't eat at the Pizza Hut in Maryland anytime soon.
They had roaches. I saw them.
Nice.
Unfortunately,
were they on the payroll, these roaches?
They were by the table where they be putting the pepperoni and stuff on the pizzas.
Oh, man.
You know that little cold section where they cover it up?
Yeah, I know that, bro.
They open up that shit. They open it up to let the cold air out. They get chilly.
I'm telling you, they had roaches.
So how did they taste in those meals you were bringing home? Shouldn't you have been ordering your pizza from another place like roach free?
Well, once it goes through the oven, you know what I mean. They're pretty much, you can't really tell.
Yeah,
it's like a burnt onion.
There you go. Those must not be any Florida roaches, man, because Florida roaches got renamed to palmetto, but they got so big they had to have their own name. They're like the size.
You got the water bugs down there, don't you?
Yeah. Well, if you get a palmetto bug on your pizza, they charge you an extra $2.
Yeah.
So.
You ever seen a water bug that flies?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Down here, if you get a roach on your pizza, odds are he's eaten half.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big those bitches are down here.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You want to know what I really want to do is I really want to get some of that funny bone and improv action.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's where I want to be.
Now, can we talk about how when you first got to Maryland, you set up your first room? How did that come about? What kind of place was it? First off,
it's an Irish pub.
It's an Irish pub.
Okay. Yeah, they got a stage. It's set up for comedy. It's beautiful.
Oh, nice. So what is your ideal setup when you're setting up a new room? Because now you have 3 or 4 places that you're set up. What has to happen, or what has to be your perfect scenario for setting up a bar or an Irish pub like that? What do you look to do? Just to make it good for comedy.
Well, this is the thing. I'm not really a promoter.
Well,
don't consider
just
myself-
just for like the show purposes, like when you're getting there, you're like, this has to be up, and when you're looking at a
Oh
decent
no,
place for.
it's not. I just show up. That's all I do.
That's
is
it?
I show up.
Okay.
And I hope the comedians show up.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
No, I wasn't sure if there was stuff like, some people are like, we have to do this with the show. We have to make sure
Oh no,
this
no,
is
I don't have no
blacked out.
background with my
Okay.
you know what I mean. I don't have any of that. It's just
Yeah.
we show up, we start the show.
Mhm.
I just hope people are there.
Okay.
When I have my name on it and I'm inviting people down, I don't want them to come out and there's 12 people in the audience.
Yeah.
Give me a crowd.
Hey, man, 12 people is bigger than some of the shows I've done.
Yeah,
I've done
yeah,
some
I've
4
done
and
good
8
shows with
people
12
in the
people.
crowd. Then 2 weeks later, you're in front of 500 or 600 people. Like, how does that
600
happen?
people. I've never had that before.
I've done 500 or 600 people. I did that last year for it was for a charity benefit. I'm actually doing the same charity benefit with the family. It's alzheimersfamily.org. So they raise a lot of money at the show every year, and I mean, just people flock to it. So it is the biggest crowd I've ever been in front of for the 5 or 6 minutes they let me be up there. They're like, you funny for a
I couldn't
5 minute
imagine.
only.
I couldn't imagine even like doing a theater. I couldn't imagine.
I could imagine it. I would probably suck
Yeah,
at
I
it.
can imagine it, but it'll never be reality.
Yeah.
At least I don't think it will. Not anytime soon.
Yeah, I had somebody down here who they have a theater, like an outdoor type of theater for rock and roll and stuff. Probably holds a few thousand people, and they were like, "Dave, you want to go on in between 2 bands?" And I'm like, "No."
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. No.
Oh, they were like, "We'll pay you," and I'm like, "So I'm gonna get paid to look like a moron because nobody is gonna want to listen to me in between 2 heavy metal rock bands. You want me to be out there, Fat Davey, for 5 minutes?"
I don't know. If the price was right, I probably would have did it.
Yeah, fuck.
I would feel more comfortable doing it now than I would have a year or so ago when he was mentioning it to me.
Mhm.
Right.
Just because I'm more comfortable now and I've been in front of large crowds. But a lot of times the clubs that I play around here aren't as, I'm not at the Improv yet. So I think in
Right.
the clubs, the biggest rooms I've seen were, 95 to 100, 110 people in the room.
Yeah. See, like the Funny Bones and the Improvs, they always get good crowds, and
Mhm.
I haven't had any prime time action like that in about 5 years.
Wow.
I mean, I've gone to comedy clubs and they've had a decent crowd, but I haven't played like 200 or 300 people in a while.
Mhm.
So, and I was doing really good back then, playing that many people. So I can imagine what I could do now.
Sure.
Does that
So-
make sense?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Fill your head with all the beliefs of I can do it and you will be able to do it. It's just
Right.
it. I know when I first started, the goal was, I need to be in front of like 100 people to feel, I want to do that. And then maybe I'll feel like if I can make that full room of people laugh, like I can do it. And now I
Right.
don't, and again, it's the next time that I had a really large crowd, when I was in front of 500 or 600 people, I didn't think about it as, hey, look at how many people are out there. I'm going to be nervous. I was no more nervous or less nervous than I am when I'm in front of 20 people or 100. So it didn't
I
phase
don't
me
like-
too much.
I don't like small crowds.
Those are the ones, if anything, that make you more nervous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If I walk into a room and it's fucking 12 people in there, I'm gonna get nervous, really nervous, and then
Hey.
I'm gonna be. You just gotta talk to them a little bit more. That's all.
But at
'Cause
least
It's
you
more
get
intimate. It's more intimate.
right. But you're getting paid when you're going out there. I'm doing, 5, 10, 15 minutes if I'm lucky in front of 7, 8 people. You're like, oh my God.
Right.
I
yeah,
need
that's
more
some
people.
bullshit.
Laughter is contagious, and none of these people have caught on yet.
Well, when you have more people, the laughter carries too, and when you have less people, you run through your material quicker.
Absolutely. And when you don't have much material to begin with, it's all
Oh, you're
downhill.
done.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
you've worked with some really cool acts, Gilbert Gottfried and so on. Who are some of the favorite people that you got to work with on stage?
Let's see. I haven't had anybody famous.
Gilbert Gottfried's
Hey,
not famous.
Oh yeah. Gilbert Godfrey, Ralphie May. I've opened for him twice. Who else? Larry Reed. I worked with Bob Zane.
Now, Jim Florentine.
over for Jim Florentine at the Funny Bone.
Any of these guys ever given you some advice, pulled you in and said, hey, man, this is good. Maybe you should change this around?
Let's see, Ralphie May told me I was really funny and invited me to the movies. And I think I fucked up because I didn't go. And,
Nice.
yeah, that was trust me, that was stupid. Jim Florentine told me I was good, but I needed to be more confident.
Wow.
It's about, nobody really,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had the opportunity to get in anybody recently, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was a while ago. Gilbert, he didn't really, he's in his own little world. He wasn't really trying to.
I heard he's not
very.
very social. I guess he's not very talkative in a sense.
Well, I had to drive him back to his hotel room, and he talked a little.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
Did you guys see him on that
He
Food
doesn't talk in that
Network
voice,
show?
though.
Huh?
He always talks in that voice.
No, when I talked to him, he was just a regular voice, like a regular.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys see him on that Rachel Ray and Guy Celebrity Cook-Off? Anybody?
I saw the commercial.
He made
It's more than I saw.
it's a cooking show cook-off, and he was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'm like, what?
That's messed up.
He made a fried peanut butter jelly.
Everybody's doing what they can do to stay on TV.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was he in the cook. They have the whole thing. He makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and he fries it, and then he puts a little cinnamon on it for a twist. And then he loses, and he has to go to like the speed round, and he has to make another dish. So he makes another peanut butter and banana sandwich instead. And he's like, "Here's this kind of peanut butter sandwich instead." Like, what do you mean? He goes, "I'm going to go with what I know, guys."
Have you had time to watch this show?
Huh?
You watched the show?
Apparently,
Hell
he did,
yeah, I
yes.
watched that show, man.
Okay.
I'm a
I
fat
like
guy.
Guys and Diamonds personally.
I watched that too. I'm a fat guy. I like all sorts of stuff on the Food Network.
Man vs. Food.
I hate that bastard, Man vs. Food. That should have been my gig. I could eat more than that
Oh.
bastard on any day of the week.
My new shit is Bar Rescue, though. He be tearing their ass up.
Yeah,
I
Bar
haven't seen it
Rescue,
yet.
Restaurant
Tapper.
Impossible.
Something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're all good, those shows. But I like Heat Seekers.
Oh, yeah, with the spicy food, yeah.
That's me.
And that's the kind of shit anybody could do that type of show. Where they find these guys at? Are they expert in heat? You know what I mean? Come on.
Well, the one guy they got on there, Aaron, is like a 5-time crazy celebrity chef. He's Aaron Sanchez, I think. But I don't know who the little.
We could have did that show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hell yeah, man! You could put a fat guy on an eating show, just clean me
Yeah,
up.
all you got to do is tell them the food's hot. Okay.
Yes, but for me, like I'm a spice head too. I love the hot and spicy shows because I'm
me
like
too.
I want to do that
food
challenge.
anyway.
Yeah, how hot you like to
Matter
go?
of fact,
You hit the.
When I'm eating, I like to be sweating.
So what's the hottest pepper that you eat or cook with?
Oh well, I don't know. I don't know about all that, but I'm just saying I like hot food. I like spicy food.
Yeah, I go for like moronic hot stuff. Like I eat habaneros. I have some of those ghost chili pepper sauces in my house. Like I'm pretty stupid. Most people look at me like I got a third eye and a second coolant asshole for being able to eat this stuff. Like, how does he survive? He's like a cow. He's got a belly for hot, a belly for dairy. he's
Now,
got
are
a
you
stomach
guys
for country.
comedians?
Yes. Yeah. I
Both
mean,
of you guys.
huh?
Both of you guys are comics.
Yes. We're not really features or anything like that. I mean, I've done some MC work. And I've done some improv.
Fair.
I also work with an improv group, and Dave has also done some MC work and guest sets and stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay. MCing is hard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's
ridiculous.
It's fun though, because it's not often that you get up on the same stage 2 to 3 times in a night.
Mhm.
So to know you get up there, you got to go back, and they think you're funny 3 times because you're leaving and you're going back. Are you smoking that imitation fake joint again? I hear you hacking.
No, that's what I actually took a hit off my cigarette and I hit it too hard.
All right. He took a hit off the cigarette. Are you smoking a real cigarette, or are you smoking one of those fake ones that you could smoke anywhere?
I'm smoking a real cigarette. Now I'm looking in my daughter's room, wondering why her damn light is on.
Oh, should she be in bed at 9:25?
She's 7. She's watching School of Rock right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's 7. School of Rock.
Yeah.
Is that
We go hard in this house.
I was gonna say that's the movie with Jack Black, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's all right.
Jack Black is another great one.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah,
Especially
we're
that
talking
movie.
about MCing. That's people are still ordering drinks and ordering food when you're up there. It's just it's a bad. Unless you're really good, it could be okay.
Were you pretty good at emceeing when you did it?
I'm not good with I wasn't good with remembering names. I would have to bring my paper up there.
Yeah.
I would fuck up the announcements.
Nice.
Seriously, I can't even tell you how many names I messed up.
That's
And I'll be
awesome.
reading it and mess it up.
I felt pretty comfortable when I did it. I think I emceed it at one of the nicer clubs here, which is with Bob Burr
Snappers.
up at Snappers,
Mhm.
and great food, great everything up there. But 2 different times I got to MC up there last year, and both went pretty good. I got off the stage, and Bob will come up and make sure you do this, or don't talk so much about that. But they paid me, so
Mhm.
I must have
How
done
much
all
did they pay
right.
you?
Huh?
How much did they pay you?
I don't remember. Was it $25 or $50 a night when you're doing the MC there? It might have been
I think it's 25 a show.
25 a show.
Yeah.
So 2-3 shows a night. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did you get a meal?
Oh yeah. I'm a
you
fat guy.
good. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a meal. You know what's nice? Snappers is great because if you're working there, even if you're doing a guest set, you can get they'll pay for your drinks.
That's good. That's real good.
They'll
That's
feed you.
shit.
Yeah, they are extremely good to the people that come in, and they give everybody opportunities. It's a real good gig.
Yeah. I like clubs that give you a free meal. Every time I go to a club, they don't give you a meal. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't get no chicken fingers. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. So where are some of the what are some of the favorite clubs that you have played? Because you've said you've been in Pennsylvania and a couple of the other states around.
My favorite club is the Funny Bone, hands down.
And what
as far
city?
as crowd quantity.
And
But
which city
I like
is that? Which
Stitches
Funny
Comedy
Bone?
Club. What else is a good one?
Which Funny Bone? Which city?
I've done the one in Virginia Beach. I've done the one in Richmond. I've done the one in Connecticut and West Virginia.
All right.
But it's just good because of the crowd size. It's hard to fail in a room of 300. You have to be really bad.
Yeah, definitely. So who are some of the comics that you kind of looked up to when you were growing up, or anybody that helped you, mold? Because you do a lot of one-liner jokes as opposed to some of the storytelling. So who are some of the people that motivated you?
I like the variety. I like the Bernie Macs and the Chris Tuckers, the Chris Rocks. I like Mitch Hedberg. Who else was there that I like? There's a lot of guys out there that I like. I really liked Mitch, and I really liked Bernie Mac, DL. I don't know. It's a typical.
So when you're writing, do you think like, how would Bernie do it, or what's your form for writing?
Oh no, absolutely not. I try to do stuff that's never been done. But sometimes I think of a joke and I'm like, man, that shit is too easy. Somebody had to do it. Like I thought of a joke. I was like, my friend got a job at BET. Now he's got a gambling problem. Someone had to have done that. It's just too easy.
Right.
So I just throw it away. I was driving down 95 and I got pulled over doing 100. I said to the officer, I decided at 95. I told that to my friend. I was like, I heard that before. I was like, fuck. So I try to do, stuff that's never. It's hard though.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their topics of weed and sex. You can't stay away from that. But as far as, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's not like you're going to reinvent the wheel, but it's like, It's still you want to try to be original.
I try to be original. Original is you know, I don't even watch comedy shit, BET or any of that shit anymore.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to watch anybody sit.
Which is understandable, and I've had people tell me that before. I still kind of like watching it, not because I'm looking to steal material, but it's because they might go into a topic that I've never even thought about, and it's like, oh, you know what? I probably have my own stories about that, or, you know, there's times you just don't think about areas that you can talk about that may be funny, and you may have a totally different twist on it than somebody, but it's just like you just never, like, oh, I didn't even realize curtain number 3 was over there. So
Well, I collaborate a lot too. I have a friend of mine that we collaborate.
you like doing.
Like I'll get on the phone with my buddy and I'll be like, man, I can't look at this. I can't think of this, and we'll just start throwing shit back and forth until we find something.
Have you ever belonged to any of the like a writing group like we have here when racing isn't in or Sunday football?
Never.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like we get together with 3 or 4 or 5 comedians who show up every Sunday and we'll write or talk about things for 2.5 hours. We're fortunate.
Now, I'm not opposed to doing that though. If I give it to the right people, I don't want to give it to anybody that's not funny though. You know.
Well, like we have one here where one of the guys who comes in is Steve Eric, and we also have Steve Baird and some of the other great comics that have been in the industry for 25 plus years will come in and just hang out with us on, you know, a Sunday night for a couple of hours and talk to us about our jokes and ways to expand them or ways to shorten them the hell down because they're too long.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's a really good opportunity.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Have you guys done Jackie Knight's Comedy Club?
I haven't, but some of the guys around here have. Yeah.
Okay, because I can't get in there for my life. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she's apparently what I've heard. She's a little tough to get into. I think you have to show up there. Is the big thing with her, from what I understand.
Oh yeah, I won't be playing there then.
From some of the guys, yeah, it's from some of the guys that I've talked to that have done her club. I think it's you have to show up. She used to see you a couple times, and then she'll make a decision or something like that. I don't know.
I live in Maryland. So
yeah,
that's
I mean, you're not gonna just drive up here on a Saturday night and say, "Hey, Jackie, how you doing? I was just in the neighborhood."
Hell yeah, I think she would love it.
Brian Thomas, who runs her showcase night or something like that.
Okay.
He's like, you come showcase or something like that. You know, Florida's got a lot of top-notch comedians down there.
Yeah.
A lot of them have come from Florida. Yeah, they've done a lot of work. Mitch was here for a while. Mitch Hedberg, Larry the Cable Guy. All sorts of great people spent a lot of time in Florida.
L.A. Hardy is there, isn't he? L.A. Hardy in Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. And L.A. Hardy's been on the show a couple of times. Great guy. Really enjoy L.A.
Eric Myers. I think Eric moved to L.A. though.
Yes, Eric Myers.
I think he was the first winner of the Florida's Funniest Comedian or something like that. Florida's Funniest contest.
And it was funny. The first time I met him, I had to follow him on stage.
Oh yeah,
and everybody,
brilliant.
And it was weird because it was actually an open mic, and he was there hanging out.
Yeah,
and everybody's like, I don't want to follow him. I don't want to follow him. and the person running,
Eric Myers is a beast.
He is, for a little scrawny guy. He's a beast. And Alyssa Bissonette was running the show, and she's like, Dave, do you want to go up after Eric? I'm like, I don't care. And then I see him go up, and I'm like, oh my God. The very first thing I said when I stage, I said, listen, everybody, I'm funny, but I'm not as funny as that last guy. But we're going to have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to get on Letterman. That's what I want to do.
Nice.
I have ADD. That's why I go from subject to subject.
I was going to say, because
I want to get on Letterman.
You wanted to go to One Room Jockey Nights Club, which is a great place to be, to David Letterman.
Yeah.
It's great. I just had one of David Letterman's Tom Dreesen is one of David Letterman's most common guests. He's been on there, I think it's over 60 times now. He actually gets to host for Letterman when he's sick. Dave was out with shingles for a couple of weeks years ago, and Tom Dreesen did the show for him. So Letterman we've had a couple people. Martin Short called in the day after being on Letterman. Yep. That was like, hey, from David Letterman on top to David Frank on the bottom, baby. Live on internet radio.
If you can get on Letterman or Conan, but you know, I don't even go on Late Night with Craig Ferguson. But I think Letterman is the creme de la creme right now.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Now Letterman's the creme de la creme and all of that. But let me ask you something. only because I've spoken to so many comedians that have done Letterman and Conan and all these other places. Aside from being on Letterman, what do you hope to get out of being on Letterman? Do you think that's going to launch your career?
I believe that if I got on Letterman, then I could say that I was at the top. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and the one fact is you'd have a TV credit.
Well, see, I don't have any TV credits.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Here's the thing. I don't really want to get on TV. I just don't want to work.
Yeah.
I just want to do comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But I do want to get on Letterman. I think if you got on Letterman, you get paid more afterwards.
Well, and you know what's funny? You really don't. And the only reason I say that is because we've had so many people on. We've asked them, what have you seen after being on Letterman? And they were like, nothing. I didn't even get paid $5 more the next night.
Really?
Really. And when you speak to a guy like Tom Dreesen, who we spoke to last week, he's like,
Mm-hmm.
back in the day when you were on Johnny Carson, it kind of set the precedent.
Well, it would launch your career.
That's exactly it. If you got on there for 4 or 5 minutes and you did great, that was it. Yeah. But since then, there's been Letterman, and you got Conan and Big Chin.
Conan is another one. After Letterman, if I couldn't do Letterman, I would want to do Conan.
Mm-hmm.
But the only and of course it's great to get TV credits and to be on those shows, but just from what I'm understanding is those shows don't make you anymore. Because what was it? The only person that David Letterman launched was Jay Leno. Yeah. And since then, neither of them have launched anybody. But TV is so more popular now than it was 25 or 30 years ago.
Well, it's just there's so much more of it, you know? It's like, I mean, Letterman, back in the day, Carson was the only real late-night talk show at the time. Now you've got Letterman, Conan, Leno, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Craig Ferguson, and Chelsea Lately, and all these other different late night shows. I mean, it's not really going to launch your career. But the way the Tonight Show was, like in the '80s, like especially somebody like Stephen Wright, who was from Boston, they had never really heard the whole Boston scene. He goes on and does 4 minutes. Carson calls him over, and that put the whole Boston comedy scene on the map. Right there. So
it's just I only asked because I didn't know how familiar you are with how it works or how hard it is to actually get on one of those shows.
I'm not going to be able to do it. It's impossible.
Well, it's not impossible.
There's too many comedians out here.
Yeah.
I believe that one day it's all about luck, man. Maybe if I was in the right place at the right time, maybe if Eddie Brill saw me or something. I don't know.
Well, Eddie Brill doesn't even have anything to do with Letterman anymore, right? Isn't he gone?
No, he's the warm-up. He warms the crowd.
I thought that ended.
No, he still does it.
No,
I took him an email the other day, and he responded back.
Really? He never returns any of my emails. I hit him off on Facebook a couple times, and he ignores me.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got lucky. I was surprised. He sent me 2 emails.
Yeah, I wanted him to come on the show, and he didn't even respond. Like I was invisible. I didn't send him nothing. The only thing better than the fact that he didn't respond or funnier is that the fastest rejection I ever had for this show is Bill Cosby. I no sooner did I hit the send button on the email to Bill Cosby's people. I went to the bathroom to take a tinkle. I came back and the rejection was already there. I was like, damn, I got rejected. The toilet's not done flushing yet, and I've already been rejected by Bill Cosby.
Nice.
It was ridiculous. I went in my bedroom and cried. I watched reruns of The Cosby Show and ate chocolate.
You got to start at the top, though, you know?
Yeah.
You're not going to know unless you try.
Absolutely. Hey, man, I've had some great people on the show. As I said, Martin Short, Jackie Mason, Bobby Slayton, Bobby Collins, a whole list of celebrity comedians that, who in the hell ever thought they would say yes?
Jackie Mason has a daughter that does comedy. Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sheba Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, if she could do 1/10 of what her father did, she will have success.
I saw her one time. She was okay.
Good. So, I mean, you never know who's going to say yes to do a show or who's going to say no or who backs out last minute like we've had.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens. I've only had that happen once. Only one person that was calling in had to back out. They were sick. I've had people not show up in the studio.
Yeah.
They were probably afraid I was going to eat them or something.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm a little distraught right now. You said they got on Letterman, and after that they got nothing?
Well, you think he said more or less it didn't make as much of a difference as they thought it would.
Yeah, like people think
You know?
now you're going to get on Letterman, and then all of a sudden the phone's going to be ringing. It doesn't happen. And we're not saying you're not going to get calls, and it's not going to be better for your career because it is in some aspects, but it's not like it was 25.
An agent, maybe.
Well, like I'll give you an example. Tom Dreesen, who did the first Johnny Carson show so many years ago, his first one, the very next day, he was booked by a television station, or I'm sorry, the whole network, and it was just it was different. It was different getting booked on Letterman 25 years ago than it was, or I'm sorry, on Carson 25 years ago, or any of the talk shows than it is now, because there's just not, the market is flooded with them. So it's not the big change. I think people sometimes they think they're going to see that big change like a Jerry Seinfeld had or an Elaine Boozler when those guys get on these shows.
See, I don't want that type of stardom, though. You know.
I do. Why not? You just want to be a working.
I just want to get paid more. I don't want to work a regular job.
Yeah.
I want to publicly humiliate myself and talk about funny crap, but I'd like to be adequately paid. I wouldn't mind being filthy rich.
I mean, yeah, there's guys out here making hundreds of thousands of dollars that are not on TV, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands is fine.
Mm-hmm. What's
playing these theaters and stuff like that? Look at Brian Regan. He's not. He doesn't have a sitcom or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably out there killing them.
Oh yeah, that's a guy who's making some crazy money. And he's just touring.
Money.
Yeah. I mean, he comes to town.
Dunham's not on. He doesn't have a sitcom, or he's murdering them. He's making millions.
Yeah.
I mean, people know who he is, but he's not. You know what I mean?
It just takes time, and you have to establish a name to be able to fill those kind of theaters. Like as we said, we have problems getting booked in clubs. I mean, you got 10 or 12 years in, and you still necessarily can't get picked up, and you have problems, knocking on doors where you can't get past the gatekeepers.
I know headliners right now that have been in the game for 25 years who can't get booked.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
What would you say is the biggest problem with getting booked? What would you say is wrong with the industry, at least in your area?
What I'm seeing right now is a lot of people that are not funny that are working, and that's what the problem is. There's a lot of people that kiss ass and do all, and not saying that it's hard. You know what? I don't know. Right now, you don't even have to be that funny. All you have to do is be mediocre and have a great attitude and tip the wait staff.
Nice way to put it.
Yeah.
So
you go in there, you act like you got some sense.
So
you smile.
So you book rooms, though. So what are the criteria that you hold your people up to, or are you just happy to have someone to come to the room?
Oh no, they have to be funny. I mean, I've had some non-funny people come in, but it happens, Yeah. I have people. I mean, either you got to be recommended, or I got to know you, so that type of thing.
And how big of the crowds are you bringing in normally on a show?
We do it Thursday night. We do it as a free show because the bars won't charge the people to come in their place.
Yeah.
So we'll probably average about 70 to 80.
All right. And what do you do? The typical hour and a half show?
Hour and a half show. I'll usually have a host. I'll go up there, do about 5 minutes. I'll have a middle and a closer, maybe sometimes. Sometimes I switch it up. I'll put 2 middles on a show.
So when I go visit my friend up in the Maryland, Washington area, I might be able to get a guest set?
You can come on.
All right.
Nice.
You got to reinforce stage?
All you do is let me know.
You got to reinforce stage? I'm pretty fat.
Oh, no, you're good, man.
All right.
You're good.
Checking. I include it on my resume. Very fat. Please make sure stage is strong.
All you got to do is let me know when you're coming. And I do one the last Thursday of the month, the third Thursday of the month, and the second Thursday of the month.
Nice.
And is it all the same room, or do you do other?
No, it's 3 different places.
3 different rooms. Each place you only do once a month. Then is it what it is?
Correct. So at least I got somewhere to get on every week.
That's cool. Yeah.
So let's be frank. How much money do you make from doing 3 rooms for yourself? Do you get to make
really?
Huh?
How much money do I make?
Not from comedy in general, but booking a show. What do you? I mean, because you got to pay the feature, you got to pay Your headliner, you're going to pay
yeah,
the
yeah,
MC.
not a lot. I probably make about, in real honesty, probably maybe $100 a show, $125 a show, something like that.
Which is
It's
pretty
nothing.
good. Well, yeah, but for the fact that
Yeah,
you're doing it more, you have your room, you're helping promote other people, and it's for
yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
almost
yeah.
like your
And
open
no,
mic.
You don't want to hit the people. I mean, I've been doing. Yeah, I don't try to hit people over the head either. I mean,
Right.
if it was a Friday or a Saturday night, like I've done one at a Moose Lodge, I charged them like $575 because if they go to a booking agency, they're going to get hit over the head for like $700, $750.
Yeah.
Right,
And I know the comedian, so I can just pay them. You know what I mean?
right. You get some people that are good, and they're just happy to have a gig on that night, on a night they didn't have it.
Exactly.
All right.
You give them their $200 or $225. You give the middle their $125 or $100, and you're good.
Those aren't Florida wages.
Yeah.
That's like
Oh,
double
those aren't
Florida wage.
wages?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why Jackie and I don't want you. You make too much money.
Well, right now, I put it like this: on a Thursday, it depends on a headliner or whoever it is. Sometimes guys want more money. I'll pay the headliner $175 or $150,
Mhm.
and I'll pay the middle, depending on who it is, $75 to $100.
That's not bad money.
Yeah.
Really not.
That's not bad. That's not bad
Well,
for a Thursday night.
For a Thursday night, definitely not. Yeah. That's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And I have guys that say no.
Really?
Yes. It's
Wow.
crazy. They'd rather sit at home. They tell me it's not enough money.
Yeah, that's messed up.
You know,
Crazy.
and people can get a big head in comedy quick.
Mhm.
You know, I've done. I know a guy, Steve Eric, been in comedy 25 plus years, and I was at Coconuts Comedy Club in St. Pete Beach a few months back,
Mhm.
and this guy's he's headlined there, he's featured there throughout the years, and here he is, he's doing the MC spot, and I'm like, how come you're MCing? And he's like, they're paying me, and I don't have a gig. Why not MC? Why not stay fresh? Why would you not
Exactly.
take work? So
Not only that, I think that if you're like, sometimes I've been starting to do this lately. I'll pay a feature to host the show,
Mhm.
so that way, if a comic goes on after him or in between, they're not funny. He could do more time to bring the crowd back up.
Good.
Does that
Good
make
idea.
sense?
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Absolutely. And I think someone who isn't willing to do all the different. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm going to expect Ralphie May to host at the Improv, but
Right.
if you're too good to be an MC, odds are you're not going to be the comic that's going to take time to give back to the comedy community, like a Steve
Right.
Eric or a Steve Baird or a lot of. We're fortunate, I think, in this area where we have a lot of comedians that will take time and talk to you and work with you, and they'll. If you're open to listening to them anyway.
Yeah.
So
Well, what's the pay like in Florida? I'm curious now.
It depends.
Yeah, I think it depends on the club. I mean, we're like some of the clubs around here. Like there's a C club around here that's probably the headliner makes between 75 to 100 for a night.
Really?
Well, it's a C club. It's really it's not a huge attendance at this place, and
Sometimes they cancel
the name of it?
shows.
Um,
Jack's joint.
actually, yeah,
It's a
and I think it's probably between 100 to 150 at the most. But then usually if he gets a feature, I think he stopped doing features too, and usually he'll just get a couple of guest sets, so he
Yeah.
won't pay a feature either.
it's just it's a club that's been around forever. It's just not their best location.
Mhm.
It just like everything else, it's had its high life, and now it's working on a low
Mhm.
string, and hopefully it'll come back. But I know there's other places like Snappers. They'll bring in people from New York and from California.
Right.
Michael
So-
Winslow was just here too. So.
Yeah. So those people I'm sure are making $1,000 or more for a weekend
Mhm.
or good money. They're
Oh, yeah.
they're bringing good
Yeah.
people in. But I think for your local features and headliners, I don't think many of them are getting more than 150 to 200 a night.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean,
Okay, because a middle should be getting $100 a night
yeah,
in a comedy club
yeah.
at the minimum.
Well, you got to remember, you're a little up north. This is down south where
Well, I think
we have the highest unemployment rate, and people are just happy to. I've been surprised. I've done shows where I've been on stage for 15 minutes and been handed $65, $70.
Yeah.
So
Right,
there's
that's not
times
bad.
that it just depends. Every venue's different.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're doing those, like yourself at an Irish pub, it just because it's handled a little bit differently than the traditional comedy club style.
Well, like Snappers is probably closer to like a B club, where you're not going to get your national big time comedians that are in the public eye, but they get some good comedians in there, and they market the place real well, so they get a good crowd in there.
I can't even play. I'm from Virginia Beach. I can't even play any club there right now. I can't even play in my hometown. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
But we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. I'm planning a trip up to New York, and I've never performed in New York, but I'm going up there.
I performed in New York 3 times, and I've eaten shit every time.
Really?
Well, I'm going to try not to eat any shit.
Which clubs were you in New York?
I did the Laughing Devil Comedy Festival over the summer.
Okay.
I ate shit there too in front of industry people.
Oh, that's awful.
I did the Eastville Comedy Club. I ate shit. I got that on tape too.
Oh, nice. Coming soon to your website, right?
Tune in to Let's Be Frank, the Let's Be Frank show. Next week, we will listen to Corey Hunter eat shit in New York in front of high-paid bigwigs of the comedy world.
Yeah, I haven't had a good experience.
Yeah. What's different about some of the New York clubs than some of the other clubs you've been to? What's the harder thing about it, do you think?
I don't know what it is. I just don't do well.
Wow.
Well, when I head up to New York, it's going to be I think it's Jester's Comedy Club of New York, and they're about an hour out of Manhattan, maybe 45 minutes, which is about where I grew up. So I'm just going to reach out to him and say, this is who I am. I'm going to send you a couple of my videos and send you a link to my podcast. And, I'd like to be able to come up and do a 10 or 15-minute guest spot and, invite some, obviously I think since it's where I grew up, some of my friends and family member, we could probably fill the place just with people that want to see me look like a jackass. So,
I'm getting ready to get it. I'm getting ready to do, I'm getting ready to do. I'm waiting for a date. I'm trying to do Dangerfields.
Oh,
nice.
Wow, yeah. That's a hard club, dude. Like
Linda Roebuck's dad.
Huh?
Linda Roebuck's dad.
Wow. No, like
Coastal.
I was up there. I was up in New York a few years ago for I think when they were auditioning for Last Comic Standing, and we stood in line all night to audition. And this is when I first started out. Of course, we didn't have any prayer of getting on the show. Of course not. But it was a fun experience, and we went to a couple clubs while we were up there. Like we did an open mic at the comic strip, and we did one at like in the Village and stuff like that. But we went and saw a show at Dangerfields. And that is a hard club. I mean, the crowd is just merciless. And those comics that came in through there, they were just, it was all really just crowd work. The whole show.
I'm ready for it.
I mean, they were just vicious and ruthless, and so. But it was kind of cool just to kind of go to Dangerfields because, like, that's the place Rodney built. I mean, I had to go there simply because it was in New York and we were checking out a couple comedy clubs. I was like, we have to go to Dangerfields. I was like, how many HBO specials have we seen? Ronnie standing up there introducing Roseanne Barr, Jeff Foxworthy, or whoever else, and of course we.
Hell yeah!
Oh, you know what? I just forgot, man. You guys asked me. You guys ever heard of Hot Comedy Club in New York?
Oh yeah. That's like
They used to have a club down in Virginia Beach at the oceanfront. I did their they used to do 7 nights a week, 3 shows a night.
Nice.
And I did the whole summer there, and I met a lot of New York guys that way.
That's
like
cool.
I met Mikey DiStefano, Chuck Nice, and a few other people.
Nice.
Rodney Laney.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things I like doing about the show, about this show is, there's so many comedians out there that tour nationally and that tour maybe 4 or 5 states. So maybe we'll call them a regional comedian that just maybe the whole country or the world hasn't heard of, but they're top-notch comedians that,
right.
I know some
killers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know some top-notch comedians that could be touring nationally, but they're raising kids and they're putting that part of their comedy on standby until their kids are 18 or 19 years old. So,
right.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of talent, I think, in the next 5 or 6 years that's going to come out that's been ready for 5 or 6 years out of Florida that just they've been waiting for the right opportunity. They don't want to leave home. They actually
nobody's heard of me.
Well, they have now,
which is good.
Normally when you call into these shows, you're supposed to try to promote yourself more. Not be so negative. There's just
nobody's heard of me.
This is the Let's Be
Nobody
Frank
knows
show,
who
brother.
I am.
But nobody knows that nobody heard of you until they're like, oh shit, he was on the Let's Be Frank show. That guy had that celebrity Tom Dreesen. This guy must be somebody. Nah.
I'm just a middle act. I'm just a middle act trying to get work.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that middle child syndrome. I'm just a middle act.
Just a middle act. One day I'll be a headliner.
Nice.
Yeah, do you have a goal in mind that you have, by the end of 2013 or 2014?
I just want to get on Letterman.
Well, no, I was going to ask, do you have a goal set before you hope to be able to headline time-wise? Because now that
do I
you're
have a goal set? No, right now I'm just trying to break into these clubs. I'm just taking it one club at a time. That's all I'm doing.
All right.
I'm just taking it one club at a time. I like to travel. I like to see if my jokes work in Indiana. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. How
I don't like to sit around one spot.
Well, you've been in 3 or 4 states now, so have they gone over in most of the states? Huh?
I drove to Kansas. It took me 18 hours.
Yeah.
Was that a $150 show? Because it was probably more in gas.
No, I got paid more than that. I got paid up higher than that. But it was 2 shows. It was one Friday, one Saturday.
All
They
right.
put you up.
I haven't been put up anywhere.
I just did it for the experience. I knew I wasn't going to make any money. Right now, I don't have to make. As long as I'm breaking even, I'm not losing any money. I just like to perform.
There you go. And you could always go back to delivering pizzas if you run a little low on cash. Just not at Pizza Hut.
Yeah. I strangled my manager. Almost strangled him. So
Yeah, you're gonna have to do like Domino's or Papa John's from here on out.
I do want to take a. Can I plug myself real quick?
That's the whole point of this show, sir. You're knocking yourself. You're supposed to be plugging yourself.
I created a fan page. I broke down. I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous. Finally created a fan page. I got maybe 150 people. So it's Corey Hunter, COREYHUNTER. Like my fan page. What else?
You got a
My
Twitter
website,
page?
hunterfunny.com. It's got my show dates up there. It's not updated 100%. I'm missing like 4 dates. And you can find me on Facebook, just regular Corey Hunter.
No Twitter page for you?
Forehead.
Did you say you had a Twitter page?
No, I have not gotten that far yet.
Yeah, Twitter, man. It's fun. I could tweet
I
you.
don't want to have 7 followers. You know what I mean? I already put shit on Facebook and no one likes it. I'm glad I broke down and created a fan page. Maybe Twitter's my next step.
There you go. How many fans you got now? Or is it too
I'm
low
at
of a
like
number?
153, I think.
All right. Hundreds and hundreds of people are following you.
Hopefully.
There you
I need
go.
to build an audience.
Unless you have that many friends and family, they're just like, well, let me just click this so he stops sending us emails.
I have noticed that ever since I created the fan page, every show that I've done, I've gotten a new fan at least.
Hey, there you go. You just got to do
it's helping.
a couple of thousand shows and you'll be popular.
Oh, yeah, a couple thousand. Well, yeah, you're right. That's not right.
So, hey, we got about 2 minutes left in the show. So do you have, I know you just plugged your website. And obviously they can find you on Facebook. But if they're in the Maryland area, where are you going to be performing next? Plug your next couple of upcoming shows.
Well, right now I can't get booked at a Mexican restaurant. But let's see, next Thursday I will be, the 31st I'll be at the Bollywood Lounge in California, Maryland. And then the 1st and the 2nd, I'll be at the 2nd Street Comedy Club in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Be careful, man. They got that Amish mafia out there now. You don't want to piss those guys off.
Oh, yeah. That's in Lancaster.
Has anybody, am I the only dumbass that watches that show?
I saw 5 minutes of it and I cut it off.
You know, it's funny because these guys are the Amish mafia or they have their secret society and everything they do is like big brother picking on younger brother. Like, I'm going to drive over your fruit stand or, like nobody is really bad and tough. It's hysterical, the show. I watch it because I like to see how ungangster they are.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. People just collecting a check.
There you go. So let me ask you, we're wrapping up the show. Did you have a good time? I know this is one of the first or second podcasts and radio shows you've called into.
I love it.
You love it?
I love it. Yeah, I had a good time.
I'm happy to hear it. Now,
I'm good thing I wasn't drunk because I might have said something crazy. I got to watch what I say because I want to get booked.
Absolutely. Because, I put a lot of power in the podcast and comedy world. I could snap my fingers and get you a job somewhere, but
I just try to be positive.
No, I can't. I can't snap my fingers and get anybody a job anywhere.
Did you guys watch my video?
I actually did. It was basically clean comedy. You had said but you used to have a dirtier video. But you kind of took it down because you're keeping the clean stuff up and you're moving forward with that.
Yeah, I don't write dirty jokes anymore. It's all clean material now.
So
I'm writing it for the Letterman show, baby.
There you go. Nice. Have you sent anything into the Letterman show yet? You know, you have to send them a letter so that they know you're around.
You know what? I've tried to make a little bit of contact, but I haven't. I wouldn't even know the word because I'm not going to get on Letterman.
Well, you know what? Like we had Corey Kahaney on a couple of weeks ago, and you know I think it was her third or fourth attempt to get on Letterman that it took her to get on. She had gotten on to another show that was shot in the same building, and she's like, "Hey, I'm here anyway," but it took years. But I mean, you got to get the letter in, and I think if you send a letter and a tape with 5 good minutes. They at least respond back to you and say, hey, you suck, but send us another tape. And that's how it goes. And then there's times that you get booked, and then the last minute you get bumped. So it's a hard process to get on there. Nobody's ever told me that, I just call Letterman, and, even some of the more famous comedians, they don't just call and get on. It's a process. You could be bumped the first 3 or 4 times before you get on there. So
yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
But you got to be in it to win it, man. Did you buy your lotto ticket? Send out a tape. If you could buy a lotto ticket, you can send out your tape.
Yeah, you're right. I can.
Email Davey. Email. Send it over and over again. They're either going to send you a restraining order or an invitation. One or the other. Yeah. At least if you get a restraining order.
Lucky.
If you get a restraining order, at least you can bring it around and show everybody that Dave signed it. I can't get on, but I got a restraining order, bitches. All right. Again, Corey, thank you very much for calling in. Thank you for taking out some time. It was fun. Next week.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. Next week, we're going to have another show, and that's nice because we like to have shows every week.
We try.
When can I go back and listen to this?
I'll tell you what. Most likely by tomorrow morning, I'll have a copy of it in your email. This way, if you just want to, or I'll Facebook it to you. This way, if you want to post it and share it with the millions and the millions of the Corey Hunter fans, you can.
Okay, my 153. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You can check it out. You can find the Ustream link on ComedySlamRadio.com, and it should be on Podomatic and iTunes by tomorrow too. If you
type,
forget something.
If you type "Let's Be Frank's podcast," it'll pop. It'll pop right up with Podomatic, iTunes, Stitcher Radio. You might even find me doing some stupid jokes online. If you type Fat Davey, you can see some of the horrible comedian that I am.
Okay, perfect.
And when although you're not going to get to hear my outro music because you're going to hang up in a second, you got to listen to the whole thing because we leave to the Incredible Hulk. Where they play his music when he's waving and leaving, just because I'm kind of sick and demented and I didn't have anything else to do. So we just the Incredible Hulk going bye.
Now my daughter's looking at me crazy.
Nice.
Well, listen, thank you very much. We're gonna get our guy Frodo to close out the show. Frodo, you with us? He just gave me thumbs up. Frodo, say goodbye to our guest Corey.
Goodbye, guest Corey.
Thank you,
Goodbye,
Frodo.
You guys have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks
all right,
so
have a good one. Be good.
Are you too?
We've come to the end of another edition of the Let's Be Frank Show. To catch up on past shows, find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podomatic at Let's Be Frank's Podcast. Want to be part of the show? Email Dave at letsbefrankwithdavefrank@yahoo.com. Stay funny, my friends. See you next week.